Alright, shalom, shalom. This is going to be another freestyle video. I just had a quick thought, and we'll see where it goes. Question is, why are Christians, and even Muslims to an extent, depending on who you talk to, but mostly Christians, let's stick with them. Why are they so prideful about what they believe when you get into a debate situation with them? And what do they have to offer someone who actually keeps the mitzvot, the commandments that are outlined in the Holy Torah? And so my question is, if you want me to accept a book written by Greeks or a book written by a people who massacred and oppressed my people and forcibly converted my people over a period of however many years by the sword, by force, what argument do you have that will ever work except if it weren't by force? What argument did you have then? The answer is you didn't have an argument there. You had a belief, and you were radicalized, or your ancestors were radicalized, and they came and converted by force. Now you're going to have to tell me, at what point did any Hebrew ever forcibly convert someone like you to our faith? Where did we ever forcibly convert somebody to join our nation? Now you can say that it may have been in the conquest of Canaan, in the conquest of Canaan, where we fought with the Perizzites and the Jebusites and all of them. But again, we didn't take converts back then. Those conquests was a little bit different if you really look at it historically and how we waged war. But in these modern times, especially post the Second Temple being built by the prophet Ezra Hanavi, Halau Shalom, you don't see the Ivrim, the Yehudim, or the Israelim doing any of the sort. So what is this mindset that you feel compelled to try and convert someone to your belief system? Why do you feel compelled to do that? This is my question. So, we are a nation. The nation of Israel is a sovereign covenant nation. It's very different than any religion or any faith group out there. And therefore, when someone comes to try and change our Constitution, the Torah, we have an issue with that. When someone tries to tell us to worship the Creator in a way that we're not familiar with, we take issue with that. And so, if it's Christianity, or if it's Islam, or if it's any other type of faith that claims to be monotheistic, that's of no consequence to us. Any other religion that says that they have a prophet and his prophecies came true, that is of no consequence to us. And why is that? It's because our Constitution tells us to look out for certain things. Deuteronomy 13. And just because they are a prophet does not mean that we should listen to them. Okay? There's a specific way in order to worship the Creator. That is why our prayer books are, so huge. This is why our law books are pretty big, but I mean, but they're still kind of limited compared to any other nation out there. It's very interesting that we only have 17 volumes of Talmud in order to run a nation, but if you look in the Library of Congress, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of books in order to regulate the people here in America, for instance. Over 2 million laws on the books. And then again, so how are you going to take your pamphlet, your New Testament, or your Quran, and tell a sovereign nation or the people of a nation how to act when you yourself don't keep any of the commandments, or don't know how, don't know what a mitzvah is, don't even know how to execute a mitzvah correctly? It's a very difficult thing. You're going to have quite an issue debating me if you don't have any of these things under your belt. And you can tout all day that you keep the commandments of God and you do the will of God and all this other stuff. But again, you have not said one bracha ever in your life. 9 times out of 10 you haven't done that. And if you have, you've done it incorrectly. You have not executed one hajim correctly, meaning you don't know how to keep Pesach in your home. You don't know how to keep a Shabbat correctly. And, but you want us to accept some other form of worship. This is completely against our Torah. So you're going to have to... me, I would just give up. But I mean, you're going to have to find some different type of angle in order to tango with the likes of someone who's informed. And I would venture to say that the majority of Yehudim are very informed about what their text says and what it doesn't say. Probably not the majority, but a good amount of people also know what your book says. But more importantly, what your book doesn't say. If you like to debate, you're into an uphill battle. I've seen Christians win against Muslims all the time. But I've never seen Christians win against Yehudim. Muslims, sometimes they'll win against atheists, but they can never win against Christians, and Christians will never win against Yehudim. And Christians and Muslims both have never won debates against Yehudim. That's just the order of things. Who came first at the end of the day? I mean, that's really what we're arguing. Who came first, and whose scripture is still intact, and how should it be followed, and who has the proper interpretation. And I'm telling you right now, if you're a cult, if you're another religion, and you don't understand Hebrew, and you don't understand Hebraic law or halakhic principles, you're not going to have much of a chance. Not to be disparaging, but it's just the reality of the whole deal. At the end of the day, Muslims and Christians both claim, in so many words, to be Israel. They believe that now they are the chosen people, even though that they have not completed or executed one mitzvah correctly, that the Torah that they both agree is divine commands them to do. So I'll just leave it at that, and we'll see you in the next video. And chime down if you're a Christian or Muslim and you want to debate me on some of these things. Believe me, again, you're going to be an uphill battle. Shalom, shalom.